You are tuned to Kennett Cablevision. Thank you for watching. It's time for talk. Each evening at this time, Monday through Friday, Rosemary interviews local personalities and others who bring items of interest to this community. Time for Talk is a community betterment service designed to cooperate with our local community betterment program. Tonight, Rosemary takes us by means of portable camera out of our studios and maybe into your neighborhood. And now, it's time for Talk.
Projects in Kennett. A lot of things are going on that perhaps you do not know, and I don't think I would be aware of unless we were looking for programs for Time for Talk. But there is a big one that is going on at the airport. In fact, there are a lot of things that have gone on out here, and we're standing here in front of, well, let me introduce Donald Parker to you. He's the mayor. Probably everybody knows Donald more than they know me. Donald, what was this building?
This is the administration building, the present administration building for the airport. This was built in the late 40s. And of course, with the change in times, the change in the type of traffic we have out here, the volume we have, we felt we needed a modern building, one that would accommodate the present needs as opposed to the needs when this was built.
Donald, we talked about traffic in here. Do you have that kind of traffic in this building?
Since we've had the expansion in our airport, we've had a change in the type of traffic that we've had out here. We have a lot of transit traffic that stop here for refueling because they've got a big airport to land on. We also have the corporate traffic that this kind of airport generates.
Now, will Emerson being closed really hurt us?
Well, certainly we'll miss their plane. However, the hospital has a couple of large jets.
Oh, okay.
We have other people with large planes, and so we're generating a good bit of, we've salvaged everything out of the building that we thought we might be able to utilize in any other public building.
Now, today is the day. Are they going to push it over this morning?
They're scheduled to be out here right now, and they will push this building out today.
And now, you have, this spring, did I read that this spring you're going to have another building here done? We
have already contracted with the Crow building company to build a new building. Now this contracting was done through FAA, and we had published bids and contracts and so forth, and we were happy that the local bidder was accepted.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah, we feel like that we'll have a little better rapport with the contractor.
Yeah.
But we went through all of let me tell you this, we've had this kind of problem. The building of anything on the airport has to come through FAA. They have to approve it. And in 2004 was the first time that they approved buildings. See, we get most of the money for this through FAA. So they approved the building of buildings as opposed just to runways in 2004. So we applied for a new administration building. MoDOT is the agency in Missouri that handles the monies for FAA. And the program basically is this: on airports, fuel tax is collected just like it is for automobile tax. That tax goes into FAA. Now that's for any airplane, whether it's a Cub or a 747. Every gallon is taxed. That money goes into FAA. And
it doesn't go it doesn't go into MoDOT or
No, it goes into FAA, and then MoDOT is given in Missouri as a custodial agent for that money and oversees the distribution of it. All of that money has to be spent on an airport, cannot be spent anywhere except on an airport. In addition to that, any money that we generate on the airport from hangar rent or fuel sales or the crops.
Does that also go into
That money has to also go into a separate fund, and it can only be spent on the airport. Those are our regulations. So anything we do out here is funded by money other than our local taxes. There's no taxes involved in any of this locally. So with that funding, we have to go through all the hoops that they have for approval.
And now, Donald, I hear something.
That's our first bulldozer probably.
Okay.
But the problem that we've had here, when we applied, when this became available to build buildings, we applied for this administration building, and it's the first one that will be built in the state of Missouri under this program.
Really? That's great. That's great. That's great. Are they out there to do? Are they out there to work? Let's see, Donald.
This is David Ross that is coming here. This is the equipment that he'll use to bulldoze this building down, and of course all the debris has to be disposed of in authorized landfills.
Oh, everything the government's involved in. Every step
everything.
You do. Okay.
We've been a year trying to get this thing put together, but it looks like we're now entering stage number 1.
And did you tell me there's a 180-day contract to get a building back up out here?
That's correct.
What kind of building are you going to have?
Well, it'll be a residential. It'll look like a residential type building rather than a sewing machine factory. We'll have it'll be a brick veneer building, and from the airport side. Yes, it's larger than this building. On the airport side will look like a residence with a front porch and so forth.
Oh, okay.
This side will look the same way. We'll have 2 front doors. We feel like that the administration building is the front door to Kennett. That's the way we look at it. It is the first thing that people coming in here see, and it's the first impression they get. So we wanted a homey atmosphere. Now this building will be considerably larger than the building we're taking out. It'll have, of course, a large lobby area. It'll have a conference room so that we could bring industrial prospects in. Pardon me. And we'll have a briefing room with all the latest electronic equipment so pilots can file their flight plans. We'll have all the weather state, everything that they'll need for information for filing flight plan. We'll have a room for a break room with soda machines and snacks in it. And we'll have a pilot's room where the pilots, visiting pilots, maybe have brought in Walmart executives. All day they'll be out here waiting for they need some place where they can have a little privacy and a little rest. So that basically is what we'll have in this building. And this, when we're ready to actually start construction, we'll have a groundbreaking ceremony. And then we hope to have later in the spring, after this building is completed, to have an open house in order to show our whole airport, our new construction, the runways and everything. Good. So that's something that we're thinking about doing later in the spring.
Well, you're seeing the first step in the airport renovation project that's going on right now. And I have a feeling we're going to have to move.
We're going to get out of the way.
We're going to move, and we're going to just let you watch the destruction.
What they're doing is removing old timers. We better get out of the way.
Good idea. Well, we'll find out what he's looking at. We'll find out how he decides where he wants to begin. I suppose he's looking to see how the corners come together and the roof and so forth. We'll ask.
This is David Ross. He's a local.
Yes.
We're glad to have
Sounds like it's all going to be local people.
David will do the destruction of this building, haul off all the material, dispose of it. By the end of the day, this is going to look like a vacant lot up there, David. It'll get close. Get close to looking.
Now, I want to know what you look for when you've been walking around and around this building.
This is the easiest place to get in to get the roof. We've got to separate the roof from the rest of the building.
Oh, you do? A flat roof, but it has to be separated from the rest of the building. Will it all come off in almost one big piece?
Oh, probably not.
No, okay, all right.
Probably not.
All right, so how long is the whole process going to take, knocking it down?
Oh, we could knock it down pretty quick, but we got to kind of separate it, so it's going to take a while.
Okay, all right, we're going to watch part of that being done.
That'll
Thank
be fine.
you. All right, he's going to swing around this way. We're going to follow him. You're going to see the very first blow that's being struck. One big bite. No, he's just going to be very gentle with it. Just the facade over the roof.
All of that debris related to the roof will be handled separately, so that if there is any lead content in it or anything of that nature that would be a hazardous material, it will be disposed of at a regulated landfill, and it has to be receipted for. So it has to be handled separately from the basic building.
Be pretty gentle with that thing, can't he?
He sure can.
Looks like he's just sort of stroking that roof right now.
Breaking it loose now, yeah. I guess that's what he'll do, is break it loose and then just rake it off. The airport itself that we've just completed is about a $5.5 million project from beginning to end. This building right here will be about $360,000 from beginning to end. So all of this money is, except our 5%, but 95% of it will be coming through FAA. MoDOT acts as FAA's agent for distribution of this money, but it's all FAA money, and everything all the income that's generated on the airport has to be spent, or any money that they furnish us has to be spent on the airport.
And I imagine that's a truck that's backing up, that's going to haul it off.
He'll haul some of this stuff to the landfill. That's what that truck will do there.
All right, they're putting plastic in the bed of the truck. Now, everything that they're raking off that roof, you say because they have detected a little lead content in the paint and so forth?
That's
so
correct.
They're going to have to keep that in bagged and so forth.
It has to be carried in a plastic container, or in this case, the truck will be lined with plastic, and it'll go to a special landfill. It'll have to be sealed and so forth before it's taken away.
No? That's all right. I'm good.
Well, today you've been at the airport. You've really seen a historic scene. It's a little airish out here, so we're getting ready to go in for a few minutes and get a cup of coffee and warm up. But you've been seeing the old building torn down, and we'll try to follow the new building going up, and you'll be there by way of Time for Talk camera.
You have been watching Time for Talk.